Next in the athlete category from squash, Turk. As a young boy, Gene competed in several different sports, trying to be the best at all of them, including hockey, badminton, squash, tennis, gymnastics, diving, and speed skating. In those sports, he was more than just good. Gene played Tier 1 hockey and made the All-Star team 3 out of 4 years. In badminton, he was the Under-13 champion of Winnipeg and the Under-12 squash champion. In tennis, he was ranked number 1 in Manitoba and number 2 at the Prairie Regionals and number 5 in Canada. In gymnastics, he was among the top 2 in Winnipeg and number 3 in Western Canada. And in speed skating, he owns 5 Manitoba records and 3 Canadian titles. But at the age of 14, Gene had to make a sports career decision, and he chose squash due to the influence of a great Manitoba coach, namely Charlie Ives. From that point on, squash has been Gene Turk's top priority. Now 28, Gene is the full-time squash professional at the Winnipeg Squash Racket Club, but he also continues to compete on the Canadian circuit all winter long and the international circuit from time to time. He is a member of the Canadian national team and has been since 1987. Among Gene's many credits are national championship titles since 1977 as a junior and senior competitor. In 1984 and 1985, he helped Canada win the Intercontinental Cup in Argentina and was named the MVP of the tournament. He captained the Manitoba team to the 1986 National Provincial Team Championships and was Manitoba's top amateur that year. In 1987, at the Canadian Open in Toronto, Gene was the only Canadian to win his first-round match, and as a member of the Canadian seniors team, placed 8th out of 24 countries at the World Team Championships in London, England. In 1988, a highlight was his first-place finish at the Bermuda Open. 1989 saw Gene remain the top player in Manitoba. He was also second at the Pacific Coast Open, first at the Saskatchewan Open, captained and was the number 1 seed for the Manitoba team, and placed second at the Canadian Team Championships in Montreal. He was on the Canadian team, which placed 8th at the Worlds in Singapore. He also competed in New Zealand and Malaysia. In 1991-92, Gene represented Canada again at the World Team Championships in Finland. This was also Gene's first year as the national team coach, as well as competing. He also led the national team in competition at the 1995 Pan American Games. There is no question that Gene Turk has accomplished a lot in his chosen sport. It is also evident that squash is Gene Turk's life. And tonight we acknowledge his accomplishments with his induction to the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame.